G'day everyone and welcome back to NS2HD. Happily, in my last video I was wrong. Build 188 has in fact come out before Thanksgiving or right on it, and it is out on Steam right now, available for you to download if you have bought the beta, and if you haven't, you still can. Gonna jump straight in and start looking at the changelog. But here's a big hint: look at this, spawning into a game as aliens and being in what was formerly known as Marine start. So there's a big one for you. Random start locations, a huge change to the gameplay, really mixes it up. And while I run down to look for the Marines on Summit, let's have a look very briefly at the changelog, because I'm going to spend most of my time in this video actually showing you these changes. But look at the size of it. As usual, it is massive, but Build 188 is particularly massive, and the things you should really take away are anti-aliasing, atmospheric lighting, huge tram changes, and, well, you know, I can't even summarize it. There's just so much there. Go and have a look at the changelog, unknownworlds.com/NS2. Back in the game world in Summit, I'm still looking for the Marines. This is the tension that you get from having random start locations, searching desperately for them, trying to find where their base is. They're not down in what was formerly Aliens Start, past Crevice. Still haven't found them, but they are in fact in Data Core, and I will find them very soon. So the random start locations is a huge change, and just check out the atmospheric lighting. I'm going to go and attack these Marines from behind. The atmospheric lighting and the anti-aliasing, if you look closely at these visuals, you'll see that the kind of, I like to call it the indie jaggedness of NS2, the fact that it was an indie game. Look at the atmospherics on visors, flash up. Yeah, the jaggedness is gone because anti-aliasing is in, and it is looking decidedly AAA at the moment. Now let's look at a couple of specific little changes in Build 188. Starting with the fact that you now get a nice little orange blood splatter when you shoot aliens, making it a lot easier to tell when you've hit them. Sprinting no longer interrupts things, so I can sprint and reload at the same time, and it basically, it works like that for all things. And the flamethrower, check these effects out. It can now set everything on fire, including the ground, excuse me. Check out that arc going through the smoky flames there. It's just so cool to see everything burning with the flamethrower. The flame effects much improved, and in first person it looks really cool as well. It even set the walls on fire. Where is my voice tonight? It is going crazy. Did I mention that the atmospherics look amazing? Look at the view through that grate. I could stare at that all day. This game is starting to really look really cool. In Summit, the two major changes to the map on Summit are the ramp from Pipe Junction up into Data Core used to be a massive bottleneck. It was sometimes not enjoyable and usually turned into grenade spam. There's now a staircase to the right that allows you to bypass that ramp, and that is very important for gameplay on Summit. That'll really improve things. And heliport, I don't even know what heliport's going to be called anymore, but it is just completely changed. It is, I don't know what it is now. It's now some sort of command area. I don't think it's still called flight control. I'm not sure why it says that in the top left, but anyway, it's just massively changed up. Maybe it is still called flight control. Anyway, there's just so many more hidey holes for skulks. There's a lot more going on in that room. It's just all around a hell of a lot better. Now let's take a look at the new Marine head-up display. In the top left side, we have a mini-map that shows what room you're in, how many extractors you've got, and the mini-map obviously showing yourself in relation to fellow units. In the bottom right, you have your health and armor and your current personal resources, and in the left you have who's inside that command station or deal with your team resources as well. So a lot more information, and when there is no commander, it will in fact flash and say that you have no commander. So very helpful. Let's take a look at Mac Mines. They are in. It's just a placeholder model at the moment, but it is very cool to get them. When you've got a Mac flying around, go to your robotics factory and click Mac Upgrade in the bottom right, and then click on Mac Mines. That's a 10 team resources selection there, and once it is researched, your Mac will have 3 mines. You can see in the bottom right there 3 mines available in the contextual information box on the Mac, and you can send him to where you want the mines, and then just press drop mine, and he will drop that mine there and await, and that mine will sit there beeping awaiting an alien to blow up, destroy. So I've just dropped a couple there, and that's great for base defenses. It'll allow Marines to defend themselves against, especially skulks, a little bit easier. And when a skulk, a sentry gun combined with some mines is just a nasty defense for a skulk to run into, and you get a nice little explosion. And Deady Bones Skulk, selecting Nano Shield in the bottom right on the command station, will shield a building for 8 seconds, and during that time it will only take half damage. Great for infantry portals that get attacked by skulks. You can deploy it when the skulk comes at it, and the skulk will only be able to do 50% damage, buying your team a little bit of time. Power nodes now start as empty sockets all over the map. Marines cannot, well, they can build structures, but the structures will be unpowered when the power node is only a socket. So you've got to click on the socket as a commander and click on power node. That'll build a power node on it, and then you can then bring a Mac over or a Marine over and tell them to build up that power node, and it will build up, and that will give you the ability to power your buildings in that room. So the lights are now on by default in all rooms, but there is not a power node by default in all rooms. There are power sockets which the Marines must build power nodes on. So I'm going to go ahead and build up an armory in here, and that is going to be unpowered until that power node goes up. When skulks attack or any other alien attacks the power node and brings it down, you still get the great lighting effects that I revealed way back in NS2HD number 38, I still remember, but the lights still go out and looking even better with the atmospherics in the background. And then when the lights are out, the buildings are unpowered, so that armory there is unpowered and it will sit on 0%. Once that happens, you don't have to rebuild, you don't have to select to build a power node again, you just have to repair that existing power node so it goes back to normal. So the thing to take away is power nodes still work the same way once you've built one on an empty socket, but instead of starting with power nodes everywhere, you start with sockets everywhere. So that's the change up, and that is what you should take away from that. But that's a fairly big gameplay change, and when the power node is back up and repaired, it'll have a nice little effect, a little spherical effect that tells you it is powering the buildings in the room. Now that's all I'm going to bring you for this video, guys. Enjoy a little bit of Skulk gameplay now, flying through these atmospherically lit, anti-aliased, bloomed corridors that are present in the Natural Selection 2 beta right now. I hope you've enjoyed this brief changelog gameplay video. There is no way I can bring you it all, so please check it out at unknownworlds.com/ns2 yourself, or jump into the beta and have a play. I can't wait to see you all in there. I'm having a blast in there right now, and no doubt we'll see even more out of Unknown Worlds next week. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all soon for more NS2HD videos.